It's a bull. Good morning. Hey, what's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Ware Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Woke up with a little scratchy throat here and minor bit of congestion, hoping for the best, that this is the worst it gets. However, hey, that's what happens when you travel, I guess. You put yourself at risk for flus and viruses. But no less, healthy guy. Hopefully everything will kind of even out here for the rest of the day. Sip of coffee here makes my throat feel better, actually. One sec. So, got the live Miami underwater cam up, and man, probably as far as tropical fish and coral and stuff, probably one of the coolest cams out there. Again, this is live. It's in Miami, and what a great way to start the morning and start the day with a beautiful scene of fish and coral. Well, all right, I'm kind of meandering right there, and there goes my phone already. Hope they get it on the first ring. What's today's meme or theme for the day is the propagandist's purpose is to make one set of people forget that a certain other set of people are human. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his first name right. I believe it's Aldous Huxley. I think it is. And, I got to be honest with you. I've never read any of his books. I've read Orwell books, other books, but not his. I guess I'm going to have to read some of his books. But no less, it's true. That's the whole idea of propaganda, is to divide people, is to separate people from each other. And that is unfortunately what we got going on all over the world right now, is division. You got to wonder who does it. And the fact is it facts or facts or narrative? This is one of my favorite memes right here. And because it's true, narratives are often addictive because they're created that way, they're made that way. Some facts aren't sexy all the time. Facts aren't as cool. Facts aren't as emotional sometimes. And narrative, you can create any kind of narrative to kind of support whatever you need done. I think George Orwell called that double speak, and again, that's exactly what we got going on, folks. We got a lot of people addicted to narrative and ignoring facts, or not even bothering to look at facts. Why? Because narrative, again, is much more addicting. It's much more it can be dressed up a lot more than facts. Sometimes facts aren't what we want to hear either, so we'll follow the narrative. All right, well, where am I going from there? I don't know, man. It's one of those days. And I'm going to do a quick refresh here. Let's see what the metals prices are saying to us today. Kind of about the same. Again, sideways, another sideways week, but still above $1,900. I mean, we're hanging on to that 1,900 plus range here. We've seen a few dips in the last couple of weeks that got down close to a little bit below 1,900, I think, or close to it. But really, we built ourselves a hell of a base. The gold's built a hell of a base at 1,900 plus here. And silver as well. I believe silver's built a nice base at $24 plus. Again, I haven't looked at the charts. Chart guy would probably know more about this, but I think it was safe to say silver's built a nice base at 24. It seems to have gotten knocked down a few times close to that sub 24 mark, but doesn't stay there long. Take a look at today, 24.16 the low, 24.57 the high. Again, same thing with gold. I mean, it's staying above that 1900, 1917 the low, 1933. It starts to make those trips downward to those lower levels, but then it just slingshots back up. I suspect, again, that this is the result of the dog wagging the tail. And again, as I've said many times over, not to sound like a broken record, physical markets are the dog, the paper derivative markets are the tail. But the truth of the matter is the tail's been wagging the dog for decades under the CME markets, LMBA markets, those two big crooked markets. And platinum, still, wow, platinum just blows my mind at this level. Look at that, $955. Seems awfully cheap and a good buy at that level. And I'm going to just take that phone and throw it in the fish tank. Hang on one second here. I'm sick of hearing it. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Just a rough day today. 955. Let's see what the low was. 953. We're close to it, and the high in 974. Man, platinum. God, I like those numbers. I really do. I may have to just kind of maybe sell some of my gold or something and load up a little platinum on a personal level. I'm not talking about the store. And by the way, that's not a recommendation to any of you. That's just thinking out loud here. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts and see where we're going with that. And why am I? There we go. All right. 24-hour spots in gold. Let's see where most of the action is taking place. You can see yesterday, look at that I believe that, yeah, the orange spike is yesterday in the crooked COMEX markets. And again, it looks like markets were a little bit crazy, popping between 920 and 930, kind of sideways. It's been that way again for the last couple of weeks. Even though it does travel down a little bit, travels up, it seems to be range bound in 1920 and 1930 range right now. And currently sitting right in the middle of that. Let's take a look at the 24-hour silver chart. Same thing. Silver just seems to be range bound for the last couple of weeks. I really believe it would be much, much lower, and I believe that they're trying to take it much lower. And when I say they, I don't mean the guys in black suits that sit around a big table and send out helicopters and Suburbans. I'm talking about the CRIMEX, the COMEX players, the big collusive commercial short positions on the CME market, and I'm sure the same thing happens in the LMBA market, LBMA market. But so here we are, there we are. And again, I think this is the only reason we're showing strength. There's big demand for physical gold. There's big demand for physical silver, especially, probably even more so. And as I said, these big derivatives, these big paper positions here have done nothing but hidden the true supply and demand issue, or the actually supply issue that we have right now with silver. You know, again, remember when I talk about silver shortages, we are not talking that silver has suddenly become rare and all the silver above ground has been eaten by some microbe or just disappeared or used in some manufacturing process. Well, it is actually, but there is still probably a lot of investment silver above ground and a lot of industrial silver. Well, the industrial stuff is never going to probably won't see the light of day for many, many years. But the investment silver, there is quite a bit of that probably still above ground. I'm not quite sure how much. But what we really have the issues with is available silver. Silver available for sale seems to be the real issue right now, especially in investment type quality bars and coins. And the sovereign coins. I truly believe that there is a silver shortage out there. The industry uses a large amount of it. Investment demand is way up. And again, the derivatives and the paper markets have completely glossed over it, so you really can't see what the real issues are. Well, you know my opinion on that, and my throat's getting a little bit dry here, so I'm going to try to get through this video a little bit quicker. Forgive me. Zero hedge, unfinished Brexit business, NATO's internal gold war. This is very interesting. I saw this yesterday. I wanted to talk about this. The London gold vaults in London. Gosh, you remember who was it? Tony Blair or one of those guys sold off their gold at the low of $280 per ounce. Sold off most of sovereign gold because they thought it was an ancient relic. That guy was an idiot, wasn't he? But no less, a lot of countries, this is a really good story, including the EU, the European Union, and a lot of European countries stored their gold with London, okay? And this is not unlike what we've seen in the United States, where people were asked, is there gold at Fort Knox? Do we have the gold at Fort Knox? Now, I think there was an audit. I don't remember when it was. I'm not even sure if it was a full audit, which is they opened up the safes and they showed a bunch of bars that were sealed up. No less, there is good speculation out there that's more than likely right that the Bank of England has sold off that gold and owns nothing but paper, and that gold is already, for example, EU's gold is already out there. EU's gold has already been sold, and the only thing sits in the vaults of Bank of England is a piece of paper saying that they owe the EU so many tons of gold, okay? More or less, that's in a nutshell. That's what's going on right now. Germany had their gold stored at EU, and I think at the Fed as well. Did you see how long, what was it? Germany, I think, had their gold stored at the Federal Reserve in New York, I believe. I think some of it was there, maybe some of it was in the Bank of England, but it took Germany 4 years to get their gold back, and they never got it back in the form that they sent it in. That's a fact. They got it back in different minted bars, which tells you for sure, that these accounts that are supposed to be allocated for each country, that the United States holds, that the Bank of England holds, they're not allocated. If they were allocated, it'd be the same damn bars they'd be getting out. Truth of the matter is they sold the shit off. They sold the shit off. All they probably got sitting in these vaults is a bunch of paper that says they owe, Germany gold, or they owe Ireland gold, or whomever, okay? And there's a little quote down here I wanted to see. British economist Peter Warburton was 100% correct when he described the Western central banks were using derivatives to control commodity prices and protect government currencies against public recognition of currency devaluation. I think that's absolutely true. The debasement of world currency, it's inflation, but we know it. That's the name of his book. And a good article here. And let me see if I can kind of further elaborate. No, but you know what? ZH, I recommend you go to Zero Hedge, type in unfinished Brexit business, NATO's internal gold war, and a worthwhile article to read. And that also brings up the point, again, when I was thinking about this, where is is that gold really in Fort Knox that we're supposed to own? Where is our gold at, our country's gold at, physically? Where is it? Is there ever been an actual audit? Is it allocated? Is it in the form of paper? Has it been leased out? These are a lot of questions that I don't think we still have good answers to. All right, and I don't trust these banker people, man. I'm telling you, don't trust these central banks, because think about this. Even Ukraine had an issue with their gold. Remember when they had the coup, the color revolution coup in 2014, 2016, when they threw out the president? And actually, it was a coup created by the CIA, which we already know. But if you remember, their gold, Ukraine's gold, just disappeared in the middle of the night. There was a news story that not many people read. I caught it, but Ukraine's gold is supposedly somewhere in the Fed vaults in the United States. Bit odd, isn't it? I'd like to do a little more investigation and research into that. If you'd like to look into it, please do a Google search. Do a Google search. I hate Google, but do a search under Ukraine gold, okay? And I think you're going to come up with some interesting things when you start looking. Let's take a look at what's going on in ZH. Same old nonsense, same old political nonsense by the morons that run the world and their peons. Reducing, that's just more BS. Sanctions, the only thing that sanctions hurt. I just was reading that Germany is talking about cutting off Russian oil. I love these sanctimonious EU and United States. I love these sanctimonious politicians and officials across the world that never have missed a meal. Fat, sappy bastards that they are, and bitches. I'm sorry. I threw it in there. I know I threw both words in there. I'm not. I'm equally. My disdain is equal for both sexes, and a third one if there is one out there. But no less, EU people sanctions are only going to hurt Germans. All right. So if they're going to cut oils and cause oil supplies or oil prices to go up dramatically through the roof, it hurts the poor, it hurts the middle class mostly. And that's most of the population out there, whether it's United States or Germany. Sanctions are bullshit. Sanctions do nothing but hurt people in our own country. And this whole war is actually bullshit, in my opinion, created by the EU and the United States. But then again, you know my opinion on that. And I'm not going to go there right now. I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of talking about these idiots and these morons. Here you go. There you go. Propaganda. Propaganda. That's what we're living in, the world of propaganda right now. We're living in the world of narrative, not facts. So, the best thing I can tell you when it comes to this Ukraine thing, turn off the television. Turn it off. Turn off corporate news, Fox, CNN, MSNBC. They're all lying to you. Lying sacks of shit they are, that's for sure. Anyways, I don't want to get going on this. Interesting article out here by Avery Goodman. Was reading. He makes a good point that there are some. Let me see, where'd that phone go? I dropped it somewhere, and that just drives me nuts. All right. I should put that in the other room. Sorry about that. The article, he kind of brings up the point that, and it's true, Russia did not back the ruble with gold, okay? I don't think I'm not sure how that was implied or how people got the idea that they backed it in gold. More or less what Russia did is what they've been doing for a long time, is they've been trading their rubles, okay, for gold, all right? Prior to this war, Russia was actually, all their domestic gold supply was actually being bought by their central bank there, the Russian central banks. They were beefing up their gold supply, probably in anticipation of things like this. If you ask me, I believe they were anticipating. They knew that the dollar was being weaponized and one day it would be weaponized against them, so they built up their gold supply by simply buying gold from directly from their own domestic mines, okay, and they'd pay that with rubles. All they did with what they've recently done is just the same thing, except now they're offering to buy it from the public at a low price, $15.50, my understanding, per ruble. But how Avery Goodman got the impression that that is a gold standard, or that anyone was saying that is a gold standard, I'm not quite sure. He did point out an article here, so I'd have to take a look. But I'd have to agree with him. No, Russia's not on the gold standard. But yes, Russia has made some brilliant moves by continuing to buy, especially that provides security in their people's minds. Their people all of a sudden say, hey, we can sell rubles for, we can sell our gold for rubles. But I don't think they would do that. I think that was more of a psychological thing to prop up their currencies as well. But a good move on their part. And this kind of, I think Avery, unfortunately, Mr. Avery Goodman has drank the Kool-Aid as well, drank the propaganda Kool-Aid as well by making this statement. No one needs to depend on the action of a war criminal to make gold prices rise or to collect good dividends. And calling Putin a war criminal is nothing more than this, folks. It's nothing more than this. Propagandist's purpose is to make one set of people forget that another set of people are human. A lot of people forget that, and it's all about narrative, creating narrative. People like the bad guy narrative. That's much more interesting than the facts, okay? But the fact, and think about this, even in Ukraine, prior to this war, what were all over the news? CNN, Fox, how corrupt Ukraine was, how bad they were. Even the current president, Zelensky, got terrible bad ratings, how they had really bad people fighting in their military. They had terrible militia units that make our militia units here in the United States look like choir boys, okay? But that all went away. Now all of a sudden they're heroes. I don't know what the hell happened. That's what George Orwell called doublespeak. And most of you know what that is. If you don't, look up the word doublespeak. All right. Oh, geez. You know what? I'm tired of talking about politics and the world politics, but it does have a take a look. Here you go. Here's a big bar of gold, and where gold goes, silver will follow. So we need to follow the politics. We need to follow the economics, and we need to talk about this kind of nonsense that we're watching in our everyday lives. However, the key to understanding this is to, question what you think you know about all this. Question what you're being told, and we'll get into that. That's my basically theme that I talk about all the time is question these things. Okay, that's all over. All right, I better get out of here quick. JM Bullion. I like to bring them up because they are the 800-pound gorilla of online sellers. There are some cheaper sellers out there, and some, and we talk about them. As you know, in my business, I advertise to beat APMEX, JM, and SD. Bullion as a local dealer, and I hope your local dealer does the same. Remember, if you don't live in my area, I can't buy or sell from you. Basically, you have to, I can't sell to you. Maybe we can buy from you, but can't sell to you because we're not set up for that. We're basically a brick and mortar business here in Lauderdale by the Sea. But you should find a good local dealer. What's the best deals out there right now? I sound like a broken record for the last 2 months, 3 months, 4 months. I don't even know now. But it's the one thing I do well. Sound like a broken record. No. One thing I do well is I know my products, and I know what the best deals out there. Best deals right now, without a doubt, if you can afford to pony up the bucks for it. Speaking of pony, there you go. Is 100-ounce silver bars. Doesn't have to be Silvertown. Can be any of the good 100-ounce silver bars recognizable in the industry. At I think Spot Plus, we get them for Spot Plus $3.50. They have them 1 to 4. Our price is even cheaper than their 5 plus number here. So if you need 100-ounce bars, I've got them cheaper than JM Bullion and the others for sure. 1 to 4, $28.82, I think comes out to a little bit over $4 premium. That is the best deal out there, folks. None of their other stuff is any cheaper. I told you I was going to look into something. 40% U.S. silver coin. It's always been traded. It has been traded at discounts in the past, but you can buy it really cheap right now. I think tomorrow I told you yesterday I would do this, but I think tomorrow I'm going to do the numbers, crunch the numbers, and see. That may be the cheapest way to buy U.S. coins and silver, even though it's 40%. It is commonly traded and has been for decades and decades. The other best deal out there is going to be 10-ounce bars and 1-ounce bars. Silver Eagles are just absolutely insane in their premium. Stay the hell away from them. In fact, folks, remember I've been telling you, a lot of you folks that have Silver Eagles, I believe if you have enough of them, you can make a trade and get more silver or get cash back by trading your Silver Eagles for bars. And I think right now, you get a good deal. I'm getting spot plus $9 for Silver Eagle deals. Now that doesn't include shipping and my profit and everything what I need to make, but I think the wholesale market on the buy price is $9 plus on Silver Eagles. If you can trade those for and get close to that price and then buy back in at spot plus 3.5, you just put more dollars or ounces in your pocket. I'm showing you how to do a no-brainer deal where you put more silver or more dollars in your pocket without any cost to you at all. Except for gasoline and making a few calls. And if you live in my area, I can certainly help you try to do that. As far as gold goes, best deals out there are still bars. I'm going to stick with bars. I think we got them for spot plus 80 or less, and I believe they cost a little bit more out here on some of these sites right here. And again, that's for small quantities. Worst deal out there is gold eagles, actually, and buffaloes. But you know what? For the $130 that they're getting for them right now, based on a gold at this price, it's reasonable. When gold eagles and buffaloes were in that $200 range, I thought it was just totally out not reasonable and not worth buying. But they're a little more reasonable. But I'd still rather see you buy a gold bar, because you could buy a gold bar plus, hang on, let me think about this for a second. Basically, you could buy a gold bar plus almost 2 ounces of silver for the same price you could buy an American Eagle. Now, doesn't that make better sense? Doesn't that seem like a better deal to you? It does to me. Well, I think that's really about it. Let's get into yesterday's video was dealing with manipulation. I don't know how much I dealt with it yesterday. Maybe I was just bitching about it, but something I do anyway. But I'd like to thank everyone for watching yesterday's video here. Tony Danzy and Bazooka Joe, thank you. You're a great American, sir, as well. Consumers lose out buying, selling. Yep, that's true, Lou. Joey, Binary Happiness. Linda Compton, Zane Underwood. Yeah, digress. And Monkey Hammer. There's the 2 drinking words right there without the F word. Johnny Boy, thanks for explaining what's going on in the, yeah. Hey, again, any of you folks who really want to know what's going on in Ukraine, watch that Ukraine on Fire by Oliver Stone. Good stuff there. And let's see, great video. G, Silas, Richard, all you guys. Again, I'd like to mention every one of your names. Joe Schmo, there he is. He is fourth. Bull is going the wrong way, but relax. Provides a good opportunity to buy the dips. Buy the frickin' dips. Hey, that's it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. And as you know, my theme for the year, and my theme for life actually, has been think for yourself and question authority. And when I say that, I don't mean just question everyone else. I mean question your own narratives. Question the things that may be narratives. Question, because what you believe sometimes may not be the truth. It may be something that you were taught in school, by your parents, by society in general. So I mean, the great way to being a smarter person and a more intelligent person is even questioning your own narratives before you question other people's. Well, that's it. Hey, this is Brian Kuzmar again with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals. Call me anytime between 10 and 4, Mondays through Fridays at 954-493-8811. I don't always answer the phone, but my staff does, and they know what they're talking about. Happy to help you out with anything you need with precious metals. Don't forget, we also do rare coins, estate jewelry, silverware, watches, and all kinds of other cool stuff as well at our other sister business, Antiques and Jewelry by the Sea. Well, hey, thanks for watching. Have yourself a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. My throat's feeling a little bit better as well. Bye now.